Good morning, guys, and welcome to the Hxro Network update. We've got a lot of stuff going on the network, as you guys know. We've got founders Gunny and Rob Levy here in the chat. Rob dialing in from the field, and Gunny apparently at an elementary school. Based on his background. Where are you at right now?
I'm at Hxro/Cube HQ right now.
Oh, sick. Dude, I'm jelly of the Cube.
This is a very culturally significant office filled with art everywhere you walk.
Yeah, the Cube HQ looks dope, man. Every weekend, every Friday, they're like jazzing, and I'm getting a lot of FOMO. So next time I come to Chicago, I'm gonna come hang out there, see Bart and the boys and you guys. Today we're gonna sample. We're gonna dip our toes. We've got the guacamole on-chain perps. We've got a sneak peek at the closed beta for PepperDex, the first one we've done at least on this channel. And then we've got three looks at the first three BitBlox iGaming games that are up moving around, which I don't actually know a ton about. That's Rob Levy's department. That's his domain. And like I said, he's in the field. I actually haven't even get to talk to you anymore. You're so in the weeds with this stuff. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Yeah, no, it is. We're in the weeds, dude. We're in the weeds, but everything is really popping.
So tell us about iGaming. I think for anyone who's like frequenting the channel, checking out our spaces, they've probably heard quite a bit lately on Twitter about PepperDex, about the Guac V2 that just came out. Gunny and I, we talk about that stuff a lot. We don't get to hear from you a lot on the iGaming side. There's a bit of an opaqueness though so far as you guys come and you're getting live. Like, what stage are we at? When can we touch it? Where do we play it? What is it? Hit us.
We're going to be touching it really soon, and I think that the key piece of like what BitBlox Games is doing out of the Isle of Man is really bridging these mass market Web 2 iGaming operators, and these are like online casinos who are offering, a range of real money games for people, whether it's slot machines, whether it's the crash games, whether it's betting on sports events, whatever it is. And it's basically where the masses are, the millions and millions of people who are starting to get into crypto, but it's not the crypto little circle that we're used to in our network of DeFi nerds like us who are in the weeds. I mean, we're going after the masses with this stuff, and that's the exciting piece.
So to tie it back to something that maybe like a crypto degen would be a little more familiar with, going back to something like Rollbit being the operator, here's your site, make an account, deposit your funds. And then within that, and I only learned this by messing around on there a bit and exploring it after you guys talked to me about this, is like, if you go to, say, live blackjack, they're not sitting there running the blackjack. You're plugged into some place in Ukraine or Estonia or wherever, Latvia, I think. And then but then there's another section of the blackjack that's live. That's like some other games operator. And so the point is, BitBlox is going to create some of these games that are going to plug into an existing casinos or iGaming operators system, and you'll just be another game listed on there. So like Crazy Time, some of these weird ones over on Rollbit, like just to try to tie it back to what people know.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Like BitBlox is a content creator and distributor. And so like on Rollbit, you go down to their casino games and you see all these different titles, and you might see different studios that offer these titles like Pragmatic Play. But Rollbit is taking a piece of the fee that's collected on all these games. And BitBlox Games is basically a content creator who is they have signed agreements with different aggregators and operators who are going to be offering their games because these operators love the content. And that's what's exciting. It's going to be some of the first games that are actually powered by native native blockchain tech, and they're powering like mass market games on these platforms. So that's the really exciting piece here.
I think right now, I was just looking at some stats. There's 4 operators that are directly connected through the BitBlox remote gaming server, which is their connective tissue between our Hxro betting protocols, Web3 powered protocols, and these Web2 platforms. There's 4 that are either integrated or in the process of integrating, and then there's 6 gaming aggregators, which is what you were speaking of. And collectively, it's about 2.2 million MAU across over 250 operators that these games will now be in their on their platforms. Pretty fucking cool.
I think it's an important point. I mean, as a trader, I'm used to the venues that I'm used to, and I trade Bitcoin price the way I trade Bitcoin price. And so, but I'm certainly not the target audience of these games, right? You're like, hey, I'm here, I'm gambling, I'm throwing money at the wall to see what sticks. And I heard Bitcoin's pretty cool. And so it's like these simplified versions of how to like get in on some directional price action for Bitcoin. Something that people are definitely familiar with if they know Hxro is Moonrect. And I think SAM protocol being one of the 2 major ones on Hxro Network, right? You have your Dexterity for derivatives. You have SAM, SAMM for the parimutuel stuff, where essentially it's a 0-1 game, right? You're going to be up, you're going to be down. And so you found different ways to like gamify that, really like 2 outcomes. Let's pull up the share screen. I've got a couple demos here. We've got up or down as a game that would be on there. So I set my stake limit down here. This is just demos, guys, so not live cash. Set my stake limit, and then for that round, the round is live right now. And somebody on that site will just see this, have their sweat.
And this, the beautiful thing is, it's like what you said. You can even take the market side out of this. People all day long globally are betting on coin flip type of events. Slot machine pulls, crash games, just digital coin flips. The special thing about what we're doing is we're using Bitcoin price as the RNG, right? So it is like these random number generated events, and that people are doing it millions and millions of times a day everywhere with random number generators, with slots, with roulette, with everything. And so the market is enormous, and we're presenting a verifiably fair and truly open way for people to take part in the same sorts of bets that they're doing all day long, every day, everywhere. And so that's what we're doing here. This is a 20-second parimutuel up down. So 20 seconds in the market, and then it's 20 seconds off. You get to place the next bet, and then 20 seconds on. So it's
these are not even 1 minute contests. These are 20 seconds.
These are 20 seconds. I mean, with tech, like, we can break it down. Moonrect started with a 5-minute event contract, which we all loved, and it was suspenseful. And then everyone's like, oh, we need a minute candle. So we went down to a minute candle. And then when you get into these sorts of platforms, if you think about slot machines and crash games, they're more like 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So this is the 20-second up down, and it is just, you get into a loop, and it's great. Great action.
I mean, you talk about random number generators, and I know randomness is actually something that's weirdly hard to achieve from a coding perspective. And so it's interesting that, I never really heard about it in that context. It's random, but as a trader, as a TA guy, I like that I can pull up the chart here and get a sense of like, well, we got a little downtrend here, got a reversal candle, like give me 10 greens in a row. So it's like random with a sense of control or a sense of directional edge, if you want to try to carve that out. So, I mean, I don't know if like guys,
like trading is in general, right? Like, I mean,
it's still random, but
trade and they literally are just punting, and a lot of people trade and they have some level of skill at it. And I think this really meets that intersection of betting, gambling, trading, where you can kind of tilt one way or the other, but in a super gamified way, which is awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of gamified, let's take another look. Same underlying mechanics, up or down, next candle, but now gamified, layered on top. You've got BitSlap. Talk to us about BitSlap.
Yeah, this is a riot, and this is actually like one of the first iterations from, I think, even a couple months ago. But this is where you've got basically a power slap match, a 1v1 between two characters, and the winner of the power slap match it's driven by the Bitcoin or bit RNG, the Bitcoin price. And so it's the same way people are betting on these 1v1 flips and matches. They get to do this every 20 seconds as well.
Yeah. So again, taking that RNG of the price and really just turning it into like pick your fighter, who's going to win.
Yep.
Completely removing charts,
exactly,
price from it. Yeah.
Exactly. And some of the versions they have completely removed.
Oh, we may have lost
the fight between the two characters.
There he goes. We lost you there at completely removed.
Oh yeah, completely removed, like any relation to the Bitcoin price or anything like that. It's abstracted away, and it's just the fight between the two characters. So
yeah. Now, if I take an above on this,
yeah,
like let's go back to the protocol level, because I think the innovation here is that all of this settles on chain, on Solana, through Hxro Network, driving fees, all that stuff.
Yep.
If I click, say, and I know those pools can be limited in a way, like I can't just put 500K on green, because then, green would get diluted. It wouldn't win as much. If I'm betting on this game, or if somebody on some operator is playing this game, is that going to affect the pool over here?
Yeah. This is, yes, a global liquidity pool. And, part of the magic is the smart AMM that's part of the parimutuel protocol in Hxro, which is providing that foundational liquidity on every single contract, because that is one of the biggest problems with parimutuels is that initial liquidity, and it's a chicken and egg problem. And the parimutuel protocol with its AMM, it guarantees the initial liquidity. And then, like any parimutuel, like if you go to a horse race and you try to bet $1 million on a horse, you better believe that the odds on that horse are going to come down in a big, big way. It's driven by how much is bet on each outcome. So that's the nature of the.
Well, which is really sports betting in a nutshell too, right? You get your opening spread where they set the line, and then it moves within a microsecond of the the algos. The whales come in and they move the lines, and by the time the line closes, sometimes it's 4 or 5 points up based on action. So
exactly,
not a new concept, but a new iteration of it. And lastly, if a one-way street is not enough for you, if a 2-to-1 is not enough juice, you could do a parlay.
Parlay. This has got us really, really, really excited. I mean, these are 1-minute Bitcoin parlays where you've got your 20-second slice of each minute, and there's 3 of them, and you try to predict the 3 directional moves for each segment. So you can go up, 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 which I tend to do because I'm the perma bull here. It's just I'm betting up, up, up every single time. Or the bears go down, down, down. But also, you pick your combination, and you can either do like a random pick where you spin the wheel and it gives you one, or you can go in and look at all the different odds and you can pick it. But the beautiful thing about this, we all know about parlays, is they pay out bigger odds. So the payoffs here can be anywhere between 5 and 8x, depending on how the field bets. So there's going to be some interesting stuff here. If there's 10 Rob Levy's in there who's betting up, 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 then the odds will go down for that, and they'll go up for some of the other ones. So it's really, we're geeking on 3 in a row.
How many combinations? I'm sitting here doing math in my head, like 3 to the power of 2 or 3 to the power of 3. Like, what are the combinations you can get with 3 potential outcomes? 8. So essentially, this exact concept could be baked into a horse racing iGaming thing where you have 8 horses
Yes.
and you're picking a horse, right? This is essentially a horse. You have the down, up, down horse, the down, down, down horse. Like, I already want to create that game because you just have 8 horses running a lap, and it's
exactly. That is the multi outcome parimutuel, which has been added to the parimutuel protocol, and so you can have multiple outcomes, like 8, like 4, like 6, whatever it is. So this is it's really exciting stuff. And I mean, we know how big like parlays in Europe called accumulators. I mean, these are probably the most popular bet out there right now, with bet builders and same game parlays and all that. So this is like
same game parlays in sports are blowing up this year.
This is like the first Bitcoin parlay, and 1 minute parlays. It's
and these 20-second bets or the bets that I make on this, they still come into that same 20-second pool somehow. It's just 3 of them in a row, I guess.
So it doesn't go into the 20-second. It goes into a special multi-outcome parimutuel pool.
Okay, so it's you can have sort of modularity there. There's some unique opportunities to like build out different game concepts. Because I'm already thinking like horse racing, like how else can you layer this? I'm sure BitBlox is not stopping at 3 games.
Yeah, no, it's they're not, and the liquidity is critical here too. So we really think that this is gonna provide a lot of value for Hxro Network and for fee collection, and the liquidity itself is extremely valuable. So
beauty. Now, before we switch over to derivatives, which is what I'm dying to touch and play with over on Guac and PepperDex, just before we switch over to that, where can we expect to see these? Like, if I want to go play these for real and be that user, what are some of the operators? Like, can you talk a little bit about who, what, when, where?
Yeah, you're going to be seeing very, very, very shortly. You're going to be seeing some announcements about some large operators, large platforms that are going to be featuring this this content, and we're literally weeks away from that. So I would keep your eyes and ears open, because it's going to be on some really large platforms.
Dope. Beautiful. And for those of you who want to watch the action on the network level, you can always go over to Hxro Network's dashboard, and you can see volume coming into the network and all that stuff. And I think actually, Gunny, you mentioned there's going to be like an overhaul on the dashboard, right? To some extent, at some point.
There's a project called Flipside Crypto that actually has come into the Hxro ecosystem now, and is building several dashboards, both for derivatives and for the betting protocol. So you're going to be able to track kind of every which way from Sunday, everything about the network, everything from top-down volumes, revenue, fee sharing, staking, token, all the way down into drill down into the individual protocols, into the individual apps, the volumes that they're doing.
The games, yeah, that'd be sweet. Like, I'd love to see like, hey, here's your dexterity volume, but like this much came from Guac, this much came from Pepper, this much came from Flowmatic.
Exactly.
Sweet. Okay, well, look, we've got pivoting here over to dexterity, which is the derivatives, kind of perps on chain, if you will. They've got a simplified version here, which I think is going to speak to a lot of the DGen crowd. They're just like, up or down, dude, like long, short. I still tell my mom if I ever mention the word long or short, she's like, remind me again, what's long, what's short? Like, just tell me up or down. Like, let's just get real. I want to say that the price going up or down. Now here's what's interesting. I just had a moment because I've already been messing around over here on PepperDex with the beta, and you can see I'm short 1 Solana, just doing a lot of testing stuff. And when I went just now for the first time to Guacamole for the purposes of this stream, I signed into that wallet, and then I went to account, and I was like, oh man, guys, hold on, I'm gonna have to create an account. And then I was like, oh no, it's here. And my cash balance showed up because it's the same cash balance I have over here, because it's the same goddamn thing. That's dexterity. And I thought that was really cool. So I just had a moment as we were setting up for the stream. So when I set up my wallet and I put a cash balance into it and I create a trader account, that account now is transferable or usable on any of these across whatever
Correct.
front end is
That
plugged.
account can travel with you. You can open new accounts. You can open multiple TRGs under one wallet. But at a base level, if you want to manage everything through one account, that account is connected into the Dexterity and Spandex protocol. So regardless of which platform, which derivatives platform you connect to, that wallet will always be there. Your positions will show up. It'll be great. For example, if there are, obviously Pepper's got some exciting incentives coming up as they ramp up their launch. If Guac has incentives, if Flowmatic, if some other ones that we're going to announce soon that are integrating things like that, and you want to kind of rotate between platforms, or some have features that others don't, it travels with you seamlessly.
Love it. And I just opened a small long on Bitcoin, although apparently 0.01 Bitcoin is now $600. So where have the time gone? The price is so high now. These little bips are
good
not
problems.
pocket change anymore. Good problems. And so, yeah, we got the live P&L tracking. Now, talk to us about Solana chain performance. I know there's been some concerns. There's an elephant in the room now. Meme coin season's exploded. It is causing some issues within the network. I'd say that was like 6 seconds from click to open, which I will say from the start of the closed beta is slower. Like at the start of the closed beta, and it's a bit handcuffed by the chain at the moment. What do you see in the future for like scalability?
Yeah, there's another upgrade coming. I think is it April 2nd? Pretty soon here. That should help massively increase performance of the blockchain as a whole, of all of Solana. So we're staying focused and positive on it.
Yeah, awesome. And so yeah, you can see there. So I'll click close, pull it up. I can select how much of the position I want to close. Pretty standard stuff. Quick pop up from my wallet. I think you can actually get one-click trading with no pop up with what, Solflare? You
can set it with Solflare to auto connect and then auto approve. So you're not going to need to approve. You can just single click and go. Also, I would you'll probably want to touch on this, but we are bringing back 0-day futures, which I know Pepper just built their integration, so you can switch fairly easily switch product groups. But 0-day futures is going to be coming back. We're going to be launching lots of these single-day futures on 0-day futures on meme coins, some of the larger meme coins to start, and then also we're going to be ramping up the ability for traders to start using more leverage. So you're going to start seeing some of these 0-day futures available with up to 100x leverage.
Sick. So yeah, that was kind of my next question, is like, what's next for Pepper down the side? I know these buttons are just for show right now. This is very early, still closed beta. I think there's probably under 50 traders that are in here with me right now messing around. The team so far has been super responsive. I've been talking a lot in DMs with Karthik, just giving him some bugs and feature requests. I actually just want to be long on this account on Bitcoin right now. I don't know. I think we probably have a little squeeze up here, so I'm going to keep that one open. But the interesting thing, client side. Okay, let me refresh Guac. One thing I wanted to see here, although I don't know if I have the size. I don't know if I have the size with my test account. But what we were going to point out. Looks like we're having a connection issue on the Guac side of things. Yeah, client side exception has occurred. Okay, well, we'll let Guac work on their recipe and come back to it. But PepperDex working flawlessly right here. I think we could just explain it. If I go over to Guac or Pepper and I put an order in the book, just say, you know, bid 62,612. Right now, there's a 0. There's nothing there right now. Maybe actually like a one more decimal place, we'd see it. But if I go put like a 1 Bitcoin long order in there, and then everybody over here is going to see that. I mean, I don't think they show the order book here the same way. But the point is, somebody could lift it. Yeah, the liquidity crosses over.
Correct. It is unified shared liquidity across any application that is integrated to Hxro Network for derivatives. So any derivatives application is capable of pulling up the same markets. You're sharing the same order books. If you somebody puts an order in on PepperDex, and it's a limit order, like you're saying, and somebody on Guac or Flamatic or one of the other ones that are soon to be launched, they send a market order in, and it hits that order, then it's there. So universal order books, shared liquidity. That the concept here is to aggregate up liquidity, capture the reflexive qualities of deeper and deeper liquidity, and grow better, deeper liquidity across the market.
Nice. Well, I just opened a 5 Sol long, and it was actually much quicker than the one before. So, I think we're going to see the chain in flux as it has its growing pains. I mean, the meme season has been absolutely insane right now, and I know it has been causing some headaches for builders who are just over here like testing in production and trying to like push through stuff, and they're like, dude, this BOEM launch killed me. Like, but as you say, fixes are coming through. There are already talks of things like, I know Cube runs their own CubeNet. It's like a fork of Solana on the side, and they just have basically their own wide open highway to operate on, and things like Solana L2s, but fire dancer. There's lots of improvements coming. But even today, I mean, a couple seconds to open an on-chain long is pretty standard, and the fees are almost non-existent. So I'm gonna hope for some green candles here. I've got my little baby test account running it up, but it's I'm noticing that the price P&L response is actually super impressive for on-chain, and I can trade Solana perps. I can trade a lot of these cross Solana perps, which I think we could talk about. I mean, maybe the spread stuff is a good one for another day. We've kind of taken a quick peek at it here. But for future, there's going to be a lot of spread trading between the Solana LSTs like MSOL, JITO and Sol. And because of we've talked about this on streams before, but like because of the correlation of those assets, the leverage you can use goes way up because spandex is pretty badass in that sense.
Again, these are generally super kind of like professional or like prop type of trades that you see a lot of kind of more professional traders do. Something that hasn't largely been brought to crypto derivatives yet, but yeah, conceptually here, being able to offer it at the liquidity layer in these universal order books, and being able to deliver it through these retail friendly platforms in very easy, explainable ways that can be easily touched by many users, going to open up a whole new world of trading for retail traders. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and then like as you said, ZDFs get added down this left panel, and all of a sudden you've got 20, 30, 40 pairs. I know from the Nolo days, like they're quicker to spin up. They can go with much higher leverage. They settle each night at USDC.
That's right.
So ZDFs will be the next, I think, major push probably on the derivatives kind of dexterity side. And then just more pairs, more more options, so to speak. And the last I heard is we can look forward to a more thorough launch. I guess open beta next would be 4, 6, 8 weeks. I mean, it really depends how each beta phase goes, but I've been watching Pepper closely and helping him out with everything where I can, and look forward to continuing to break stuff on this side.
Yeah, Pepper's been that team has been incredible builders. And I'm super excited about OPEP incentives. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the kind of stacked incentives concept. Historically, Hxro, since it's always had a token, it has ES Hxro, has had an underlying incentive program that's just kind of quietly been plodding along. But as these applications like PepperDex go live and start to scale to larger and larger audiences, they have their own incentive programs, and then those get stacked on top of your own incentives, and you're kind of getting much bigger bang for the buck as you're trading and as liquidity is getting bootstrapped.
Yeah, I'm basically waiting. I know for the closed beta, the OPEP incentives are going live soon, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for as far as like loading up the account and playing around with a little more size in here. I think 500 was just a nice starting stack to like really test stuff out. But yeah, I'm excited. I keep bugging them about when incentives, but they're coming soon. And it's, it's like points with a twist in the sense that you know exactly what you're getting. They put out some threads on if you guys want to check them out on Twitter. And it's basically an options token that will let you exercise, put in a little USDC, get out a huge discount on some PEP tokens in the future. So I plan to accumulate. So we're going to do lots of trading on here, guys. I think that's good for today. I mean, we dove into this is the first time really that we've had two derivatives front ends live. Weren't quite able to do like that super proof of concept where you can like kind of see one order appear in the book on the other side, but looks like there's a front end error on Guac that we'll have to maybe ping them about later. But we've got 3 new games on the iGaming side going live soon. Fresh alpha from Rob, who's been in the field, and keeping an eye on this dashboard, watching this.
The Hxro story here. Like, I mean, even 5-6 years ago, Rob and I were always thinking about where is the intersection of trading and gaming. And I think, as we've evolved and as Hxro Network has evolved, you're starting to see it come together. And now you're seeing it really come to life with applications on both sides of the coin, from the betting side and the trading side, that are all working with the same underlying network. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's a very, I will say this, it's an ambitious project. Like you guys didn't go for a copy paste. You didn't go for some, meme.
No copy paste. No
ambitious as fuck. You got guys from MIT.
The next wave and then disappear.
Like MIT minds just sitting here putting together the spandex thing. Like, it is really cool. And as a long-time listener, first-time caller, I just want to say I'm really excited for seeing some of these front ends come to life, because that's what it's been about for the last year and a half. So Solana Summer cannot come soon enough. I think this thing is going to be very spicy. Very spicy. Looking forward to it. The spicy guac, PepperDex, guacamole. We didn't even talk about Flowmatic, but they're in the mix too. We'll get them on next time for some demo stuff as well.
Lots of there's a good solid 3 or 4 announcements in flight of some other big integrations from some big communities as well that are coming. So.
Boom. Yeah, I mean, bonk bots out there as well. There's bonk or bust. There's a lot. As a Hxro staker, every time I go look, I see more bonk. So I'm always enjoying that. And now there's like a guac section. I'm like, I'm gonna get some guac too. Nice. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming to watch today. Staying up to date with the network. We'll be live on Thursday with the Tapioca DAO squad coming in. Tapioca DAO going to market. LBP coming up soon. So we're going to get them in to talk about everything they're doing with Jedi and Toast and myself. So be sure to tune in to that at 1:30 on Thursday. Otherwise, like, sub, do all the good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.